Welcome back, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. The good news and bad news about money. Again, the bad news, the world economy is collapsing. The good news is the best investment in the world is silver. This is October 2022. It'll probably change pretty quickly. So that's why the date, October 2022, very important date here. And the best investment in the world is silver. Today it's about $20 an ounce, approximately, plus premiums and all the other stuff. But I was buying silver 20 years ago, 30 years ago, at $50 an ounce. Think about that. It is still half off. And exactly as Silver Slayer talks about, the demand's going to keep going up. The demand's going to keep going up, and everybody can afford $20. So pull your head out of you know what, and find, talk to Andy Sheckman. What is this? What is this company?
Miles Franklin.
Miles Franklin, because he can get silver. I can't get silver from some of my dealers. That's how bad it is. I can't get gold either because people know the U.S. dollar is trash. So it's all fiat. Fiat stands for government. I call it fake money. People are waking up to the idea that money is fake. The U.S. dollar is fake. And that started in 1971 when the Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard. But as I said, it's actually started in 1964 when I was 17 years old and I saw a silver coin was copper when somebody's screwing me. So with that said, that's why I want to thank Slayer. I love his due diligence. He understands his stuff. He's well. Please tune into his site, Silver Slayer, and stay tuned with what he has to say because this market is going to be volatile as hell. Don't miss it. Any comments there, Sarah?
Yeah, I really appreciated his kind of wisdom as such a young guy, and he is so passionate about spreading the word and getting everybody educated. He talks about silver stacking, and so that's what my brother and sister-in-law have said for my nieces. No more Christmas gifts. I don't want toys, clothes, shoes for them. They're 10 and 11. Only buy them silver.
Right.
And I just love that foresight for them because I'm thinking when they're 21, where could this be for them? Or,
and they could pass it on to their kids.
Absolutely. So tons of opportunity. And I love that you stress that this is the number one affordable investment for everyone. Who knows where it'll be in a year? But you're right. I think that's the key is, Kim and you always talk about getting your feet wet, just getting a little bit of skin in the game. And this is your perfect opportunity.
Right. And I'll say it again, back in the 80s, I forgot when, I was buying silver at 50. And I thought I was Donald Trump, the damn thing crashed. So I bought more. And today I have tons of the stuff. I own silver mine, I own gold mines. Yeah. I own tons. Of course, they're in storage vaults all over the world because I don't trust, I don't trust the U.S. government, period. Anything the government can print, I don't want. It's that simple.
Is there something, because we're talking about buffaloes and eagles, can you talk about numismatic coins and why you generally stay away from those?
Yeah, numismatic is like antique coins, and you have to be an expert at it. But a lot of times you'll go into a silver dealer or a gold dealer, I go to Jerry Williams here, American Precious Metals, and he has them, but he won't sell them to me because I know better. Yeah. That's like saying, well, this 1956 Ford is worth this. Well, I don't know anything about 56 Fords. It might be, it might not be. But I just want liquidity.
That's great.
I don't want to know about the potential value of it and of all these other reasons. Anybody tries to sell you a numismatic, I wouldn't say run, but you better get educated before you buy something.
Yeah, and that's a lot like, Jim Rickards talks about fine art.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same realm. You have to, for it to be liquid, you have to have an expert who's willing to buy it for, whatever. But so that's a good point. So thank you for answering that because I've always wondered.
Yeah, it's not bad, but you've got to be really, really smart. I'm not a car. I love cars, but I don't know much about cars. So there's a movie called Bullet with Steve McQueen. They drove a 68 Mustang. I've always wanted one, but I'll never buy one. Number one, because I can't fix them. And number two, I wouldn't know if it was good or bad. But I'd rather buy a brand new Mustang, go to the dealer and say, fix it if it's broken. You know what I mean? And the biggest thing about gold and silver is world money. It's global money. I can carry it anywhere in the world, and there's a market for it. It's liquid. I can get in and out of it in a day. The trouble with real estate, and I love real estate, as you know, real estate is available for a different reason. It's debt and taxes. I buy a lot of real estate on debt, and I pay no taxes. But I save my money. I don't save dollars. I save gold and silver. Now, if I need the money, I can go to Jerry Williams, American Precious Metals, and I can, liquid. Yeah. I'll be liquid that day. Right. He gives me cash for it. Right. So that's what liquidity, where real estate is not liquid. And so those are some of the fine differences. But I liked what Slayer was saying. The demand for silver with the Green New Deal and all this stuff is only going to go up, and they can't produce it fast enough.
Yep.
And so it's $20, 2022, October 2022, as the world economy, the English pound collapsed, the Japanese yen is going to collapse, the Chinese yuan is in trouble. It's probably going to go to a crypto gold-backed yuan. But all the Americans who are saving dollars are living in la-la land. So please listen to what Slayer is talking about and buy some final words.
Final words is it was just great to hear a different perspective and have a young voice on who's really advocating, for education in these assets. Yeah. So because you don't really hear gold and silver coming out of mouths of young people.
No,
it's all about Bitcoin. So it was just really refreshing.
Right. The other thing too is about don't buy paper gold and silver ETFs.
Right.
Because there might not be any gold or silver there. It's one of the biggest con jobs I've ever seen. All right, so I want to thank Mr. Slay. And today we have both good news and bad news. And the bad news is the world economy is collapsing. But the good news is the number one investment that everybody in the world can afford is silver. Everybody. And that's the good news. But will most people buy it? No, they'll save money instead. And they'll save money in spite of the fact that they're printing trillions of it. So our guest today is Silver Slayer, and he comes from the great state of Ohio. And he's a silver enthusiast, so we're going to interview him as to why he thinks silver. I mean, that's pretty narrow bandwidth there, silver. Most people are into stocks, bonds, wheels, and all this stuff, but why silver? So anyway, welcome to the program, Mr. Slayer.
Nice to have you, and thank you so much. I appreciate this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And the thing, what I thought was funny, after I invited you on, you did a spectacular, I don't know what you call it, a podcast, but you called me a celebrity, and I started cracking up.
Because, you are?
Well, I don't think I am. Right? Do I think I'm a celebrity?
No, you texted me and you said, am I a celebrity?
I mean, you are in the investing world, so.
Well, in the silver world especially.
Yeah.
So anyway, let me ask you this. A young guy like you, how did you get turned on to silver?
It clicked from the beginning. I kind of started researching various different things, even going as far as real estate, but something about silver clicked. It started with gold, and I think with most people, gold's the mascot, and then they hear about this more affordable, more opportunistic investment, which is silver, and it clicked right away. I found the silver stacking community on YouTube and kind of just went down that rabbit hole. And it's probably been about 2014 when I really started stacking.
And the reason I say it's the number one, I mean, let's say I can buy today even a silver eagle or a silver buffalo or silver bar, and I'm paying about $20 to $25. Now, everybody in the world can afford $20 to $25, but very few people know about it. And so that's why I think this is a very important Rich Dad radio show, because it's about the number one investment everybody in the world can afford as the whole world economy collapses on top of you. So let me ask you this. So what do you like about silver? Because I know why I like it. I'll go into that.
There's a million things. I mean, I call it the perfect investment. Even back in like biblical times, they thought silver was magical. Silver can purify water. You put silver in milk, it keeps the milk fresh longer. It responds to other metals like nothing else. It's the most highly conductive metal for thermal conductivity, electricity, even light sensitivity. It's scarce, but it's more for me lately the industrial sector, not only the monetary like a lot of people focus on, but the industrial sector.
Right.
We need so much silver heading forwards. The Green New Deal just started. We exceeded 1.112 billion ounces this year alone. How many billions of ounces by the year 2030? But we could barely keep up with that demand already. I mean, solar panels increasing, electric vehicles by the year 2030, every automobile company. Where's that silver going to come from? We don't have enough. And I think for me, my stance is I think that's really what's going to take the price forwards is the lack of silver. But also including that with the monetary side of things, I mean, nothing else makes as much sense.
Boy, I enthusiastically support what you do. At Rich Dad, we have the definition of intelligence is, if you agree with me, you're intelligent. So you're a very intelligent young man. FYI, if I could correct something, I thank you for calling me a celebrity, but you can ask Sarah, that's not why I do it. I think I do it for the same reason you do what we do. We have to educate people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I really like that as well. I say celebrity because you really are in the investing world of. I can't imagine how many people you got into the world of silver. I mean, I get emails all the time. I started stacking silver because I have a very small channel. Compared to your platform, I'm sure you've saved so many people's lives. I mean, it's true though. We're talking about financial security and putting our money into something that holds its value. It's pretty important. So.
Well, really, we're saving them from financial stupidity. That's the reason you buy silver, you know what I mean? So let me get a little bit of my background really quick, because you said I'm kind of new to this. I'm not new to this. I became a silver bug in 1964.
Oh, wow. Right. Wow. Right.
Yeah. So you say I'm
That's
kind
funny.
of... And there is, I was 17 years old in 1964. I was holding up a dime. And then the dime had copper on it. I'm like, shit's going on here. And that I didn't know this at the time because I'm only 17 years old. I'm a surfer kid, flunking out of high school and all this. I'm looking at this dime going, and then I saw the quarter had copper around it. And then back then we had $50, and I saw this copper around it. I'm going, something's on here. But for it took me years to find out later on that I was looking at Gresham's Law. And Gresham's Law states when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding. So at 17 years old, I used to caddy, I go and take golf club, carry golf clubs around, and I'd go to my bank, and I would buy silver dimes and quarters, not nickels, and then I'd look for all the ones with a copper on them. And I'd throw it back in the bag and take it back to the bank, but I kept all the silver coins. Again, that's Gresham's Law. And the reason I like what you're saying, Mr. Silver Slayer, is that Gresham's Law is in full force right now. Bad money is pumping into this system, and all these idiots, it's called financial stupidity, they're saving dollars. You got to be kidding me. And they're printing so much money. And the beauty of silver, let me say it again, everybody in the world can afford $20, or you can afford a dime. You can go to a coin store and say, I'd like a 1963 dime. You might pay $1 for it. But that's how stupid people are. They don't realize that silver has not only been an industrial metal, but it's also a monetary metal. It's been used as, payments for years and years and years. So I was 17 years old, I'm going to that. And it took me to 1972 after Nixon took the dollar off the gold standards, and now what's going on there? And if you read my books, I talk about flying. I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam. I flew behind enemy lines because the NVA, North Vietnamese Army, overran the position of the gold mine. But I was such a gold bug, I flew behind enemy lines and tried to negotiate gold at a better price. And back then, gold was it went from 35 to 50. And I write about it. I'm standing in front of this little woman, Vietnamese woman with red teeth because they chewed betel nuts. And my co-pilot and I, we're both college graduates. And I said, I'll take gold at a discount. She just looked at me. I said, it was 35 to 50. I thought maybe she'd sell it to me for 40. And with a little red tea, she goes, spot. I said,
that's great.
Do I have a spot on my shirt or what? So here's this woman. I doubt she went to Harvard. I don't think she had an economics degree, but she was schooling two Americans who had no idea what spot meant. So what does spot mean to you, Mr. Slayer?
Spot price.
What does that mean to you?
Spot price is what the price of silver is. Actually, spot price is irrelevant. If you want to get real deep, I mean, spot price is irrelevant, but that's what the set price of silver is at any point throughout the day. But premiums nowadays kind of erase what spot price is.
You get in too deep on this thing. So because look, I'm a U.S. Marine. Marines aren't the brightest matches in the box. I just keep it simple. Spot is the price of that product all over the world. Mm-hmm. So that's why I've always recommended gold and silver, because it's universal. It's global money. Also, gold and silver are God's money. It wasn't printed by the Federal Reserve Bank or the Bank of England or the Bank of Tokyo. Gold and silver were put here by God. I'm not really religious, but they're on the periodic table of elements, I forget what's gold something and silver 74 or something like that. So that's why I recommend gold and silver. But it took me to 1972 standing in front of this little Vietnamese woman in front of her gold. And that wasn't a gold mine, but she was the vendor for the mine. And she goes, spot. And I was doing my best to negotiate the thing down, because if she's behind enemy lines, I should get a discount. And she could give a shit. And that's when I became a gold bug and a silver bug. Anyway, that's kind of my story. So I'm not an FNG, fucking you guy to this whole thing. I'm hardcore, and I'm always on Lear Capital saying I recommend silver and things like that. And I think it's the biggest bargain. Again, this is October 2022. It's still about $20. I was buying silver at $50. Everything else has gone up. Even gold's gone up. But silver stays depressed. And if you don't take advantage of this, they're idiots, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly insane. Like if we could fast forward in the future or even back in time and say, this is what's going on in the economy right now, yada, 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 the dollar. What do you think silver's price is? And I'm sure everyone would say it's probably $100, $200, $300, but it's not. On paper, it should be. But then you could go into, manipulation or whatever's going on. But in my opinion, you can't throw dollars no matter how many dollars you throw at silver or throw against silver is going to be able to stop the inevitable.
And there's one more big thing about silver. It's consumed.
Yeah.
Gold is not consumed. It's stored. They stack they stack gold. They burn silver. Yeah. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, gold is a monetary. It's used for jewelry, coins, bars, a little bit in electronics. I used to scrap gold out of cell phones, but silver is mainly used in the industrial world. It's used for everything. Solar panels, electric vehicles, 5G towers, silver lithium-ion batteries, everything. There's even colloidal silver in the medical world. And I can't imagine, I always say Elon Musk is like the mascot. Imagine a day where Elon Musk comes out and says, we have to cut down the amount of Tesla production because we don't have enough silver. Or the Green New Deal has to, get prolonged or something because we don't have enough silver. And that would be the reality. And that silver is literally what's going to save the planet. I mean, we're talking about global warming and climate change, but where are we going to find the silver to make these solar panels at this rate? It's not realistic. And that's the craziest part about this,
Hey, so we're going to go to a break, but I think I want to thank you, because you were talking about, you were quoting my tweet or something, where there's micro and macro economics on this. So macro, silver is being depleted. It's used for the Green New Deal. The question is, can you get any of it? And that's what we'll go into right now, because as I tweeted, you quoted me, as I called my gold and silver guy, I've been dealing with him for 25 years. He says, I can't get silver. When we come back, we'll be talking about what's going on in the silver market and why, in my opinion, and Slayer's opinion, that silver is the best investment October 2022, as the world economy collapses and you don't buy silver around $20 an ounce, you're the biggest loser of all. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, it's Sarah at the Rich Dad Radio Show. Let me tell you, good sleep is the ultimate game changer, and the 8 Sleep Pod is the ultimate sleep machine. I live in Arizona. It's over 100 degrees today, and it's only expected to get hotter throughout the week. And the pod is the only sleep technology that dynamically cools and heats each side of the bed to maintain the optimal sleeping temperature for what your body needs. With the pod, you can start sleeping as cool as 55 degrees Fahrenheit or as hot as 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And clinical data shows that 8 Sleep users experience up to 19% increase in recovery, up to 32% improvement in sleep quality, and up to 34% more deep sleep. And 8 Sleep recently just launched the next generation of the pod. The new Pod 3 enables more accurate sleep and health tracking with double the amount of sensors, delivering you the best sleep experience on Earth. And all you need to do is go to 8sleep.com/richdad to start sleeping cool this summer and save up to $150 on the pod. 8 Sleep currently ships within the USA, Canada, the UK, select countries in the EU, and Australia.
Feeling powerless over current events and your financial future? Financial freedom is your freedom. Robert Kiyosaki is the best-selling author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Over 40 million people have taken Robert's advice. Now it's your turn. Attend Robert's free virtual wealth building event. Claim your free access now at richdadfree.com. Don't wait, access is limited. Go to richdadfree.com. That's richdadfree.com.
Welcome back, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Radio Show. The good news and bad news about money. The bad news, the world economy is collapsing. The good news is the best investment is cheaper than ever before. And the good news is everybody in the world can afford to buy some silver. And as I said in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, came out 25 years ago, savers are losers. And these idiots are still saving money. And the Fed is printing it like crazy. The English pound almost went down. The Japanese yen is about to take a dive. China is in serious trouble because they have the biggest real estate bubble in the world. And and the Fed has been printing trillions of dollars, and people are still saving money. You've got to be crazy. So you can listen to the Rich Dad Radio program anytime, anywhere on iTunes, Android, or YouTube. And the reason we do that is so you can listen to this again and again and again. But most important, if you go to richdadradio.com, you can listen to this podcast again. And the most important thing about the reason we replay it is get together with your friends who need salvation and find out that they too can afford to buy in October 22, because things are going to change really quickly from here. October 22, the biggest investment bargain in the world is silver. You can buy a silver for about $20 US. $20. Everybody in the world can afford $20. Even a beggar on the street makes more money than $20 a day. You know what I mean? But they'd rather save the dollar. I mean, it is ridiculous. So our guest today is Silver Slayer. His YouTube channel is Silver Slayer Official. And I'm honored to have you on the program. I mean, you call me a celebrity, but you and I are in the same bolt of cloth. We do what we do because we need to educate people, because they need salvation, you know. So let me ask this question. Give me 2 other reasons why people should buy silver other than the fact that it's cheap.
I think that the two most important reasons are, it's like putting your money in a time capsule. I'm just going to give one short kind of explanation of how this could apply and how it did apply in real life. A Walking Liberty $50 back in the day could get you a gallon of gas, 50 cents, right? Gallon of gas.
A $50, 50 cents.
Yeah. That same exact coin can get you a gallon of gas today. Not the 50 cents face value, but I could take that Walking Liberty, walk down to my local coin shop, sell it for $10 and get myself a couple gallons of gas. This same coin can get me back in the day what it can today. Nothing else can do that.
That's a great metaphor, great analogy.
Yeah.
What's
and
the other reason?
I would say the other reason is probably it's money. I mean, the dollar's lost 98% of its original purchasing power. If you keep $50,000 in your bank account compared to $50,000 in silver, I mean, what would happen? You know, it's something that I think a lot of people are underestimating. Like when you were saying that in the beginning, you know, you could buy a silver right now for $20. I pictured some people like 5 years from now watching this and saying, man, I wish I listened to him, right? You know, it's something that I feel like too many people are going to be looking back on, wishing that they did listen.
Well, there's another reason. Like when I own silver mines. I started a silver mine in Argentina and a gold mine in China. And I own the richest gold mine in the world in Utah.
Wow.
So I'm a gold and silver fanatic. I am nuts on this whole thing. But, you know, when the biggest advantage is like when I buy silver coins like the Eagles. Mm-hmm. And not necessarily recommending Eagles, so you can't get them today, gold or silver. But that stuff will last. I mean, if I bought, let's say, a box of 500, I call them green boxes or yellow boxes, depending what they are. So 500 silver Eagles, you know, I can give them as Christmas presents every year or birthday presents and all that. And guess what? If your kid or relative hangs on to that, it'll last as long as they live. It'll always be valuable. You give them $5, it's toast. Does that make, you know what I mean? It's the intrinsic, long-lasting value of what you can do today. This is October 2022, because my prediction is, and we'll get to what your prediction will be, 2022, silver is the biggest bargain in the world, and every loser on planet Earth can afford $20, but they wouldn't know even where to find it, which is why our friend Andy Sheckman is a good guy, because you can still get gold and silver from him. I couldn't get it from my dealer, but Andy Sheckman can do it.
Yeah, he's one of the few authorized dealers. Yeah, he's a good friend. He kind of took me under his wing recently, brought a lot of opportunities to me, so I'm grateful for him.
Good.
But yeah, I mean, I look at like Eagles, coins like that as it's kind of risky in terms of premiums because
what's a premium versus spot?
Spot price is what you could get silver at, well, what the price is. Premium is however many dollars on top that you have to pay. So let's say spot price is $20, but you have to pay $24.50 for that coin. That's a $4.50 premium.
That's primarily on Eagles, so I don't buy Eagles or I don't buy Eagles anymore.
Yeah, Eagles have it.
I buy Buffaloes because it's less, and bars are even less.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. I actually made a video yesterday about, I cover it. I mean, I love covering your stuff and people, you know, that have bigger names. There's a lot of billionaires actually recently that have been coming out as well. I'm sure you heard about that lady from Texas, that billionaire that bought $50 million of silver from Andy. It's Warren Buffett, Jim Rogers, you know, big names are stepping up, and I think that's going to give a lot more notoriety to silver as well.
So I want to just plug myself right now. I was 17 years old in 1964, and I realized silver was it. Yeah, and it's Gresham's Law. Gresham's Law is when bad money enters the system, good money goes into hiding, and the Federal Reserve Bank cannot print much more. I don't know if they can print much more. They're going to try to. But everybody who's saving dollars is going to be the biggest loser of all. So that's why you and I speak about silver, I'll say it again. Everybody in the world can afford a $20 silver coin without the premium. So my question for you is this: what is, everybody wants to know, well, how much is it going to go to? But before I ask you that question, why is the price of silver suppressed?
Well, silver's a direct threat to the U.S. dollar. I mean, it's directly or negatively correlated, directly negatively correlated. You know, when the dollar index is high, silver's low. What are you going to say?
Can I add something? But when I'm so old, I used to pick up $1, U.S. dollar, a paper dollar. It had a silver certificate on it. You could redeem it for silver. Today it says Federal Reserve note.
Yeah.
You know what we say in the Marine Corps: bend over and pick up the soap in the shower. You know what I mean? You're getting screwed. The Federal Reserve is screwing you, but you're still trying to save that Federal Reserve note. But they already told you, and they broadcast it, there's no longer a silver certificate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. To answer your question a little further, when you have your money, your actual dollars, even stocks, you are basically, you know, a slave to the system. You know, they have power, control over you. When you're in debt, you're a slave to the system. Right. Anything pegged to the dollar, when it collapses, you're going down with it. It's like switching seats on the Titanic. As soon as you put that dollar into silver, you've taken the power away from them and put it into your own hands. They don't want that. You know, even cryptocurrency, decentralized Bitcoin. As soon as you buy crypto, you took the power away from them, and you are in complete control of your wealth. They don't want that.
Right. So let me ask you this question: what happened with J.P. Morgan? They got fined for manipulation. Do you know much about that?
Yes, I know a lot about. I've been covering J.P. Morgan, doing this for a long time. It's called spoofing. It's when they will place fake buy or sell orders on these exchanges and cancel the order before it goes through, with the intent to cancel it. See, the problem is you're allowed to cancel orders, so how can you catch someone when they're doing it, premeditated? So what it does is it tricks everyone else on the market to see the volume and thinking that the market's going to do something else than it really is. So then it influences those other people to place more buy or sell orders, and they're basically, manipulating other people.
Right. Let me ask you this. You know, I don't have gold and silver ETFs because I don't trust anything that's paper. I just don't trust it. So why wouldn't you trust a silver SLV, silver S ETF?
My favorite saying is, if you can't hold it, you don't own it.
I'm gonna quote you from that one out.
Yeah, it's the truth though. You know, and actually on the COMEX, the ounce of silver you hold in your hand, theoretically 250 other people own the same ounce online, digitally, but you're the only one that owns it, right? That's another really important thing to note of is, if it's good as stocks, if it's, silver that's on, a screen, just a digit.
Yeah, my saying is if they print it, I don't want it. Is really quite simple. So let me ask this other question. Is it possible that the SLV, which is the silver ETF, and GLD, which is the gold ETF, are you saying that there are more ETFs, there's more paper gold and silver than real gold and silver? Yes,
tenfold. And I think one day the COMEX will collapse. Some people say it will a lot sooner, but I think that eventually the facade will come crashing down. I mean, the LBMA and COMEX vaults are near empty now, and I don't see how they can keep this up for much longer. And when this does happen, I think that will even expose silver's true value. I mean, a lot of people say that silver's price could skyrocket from this or this. It's not a matter of which one, sparks the flame. It's all going to. I mean, nothing else. I could give you 10 reasons why silver is going to explode in the next 10 years. I can give you 10 reasons why stocks will crash in the next 10 years, so.
And so my prediction is, and predictions are just predictions. They don't mean anything. So don't believe a word I say. but I think silver is going to go to 100 to 500 by 2025. That's my guess, and it's wishful thinking and all this, but I also do it the same reason why they pump silver and all that, they dump silver and all this stuff, is to get, let's call it forward guidance, so either people get excited or they dump it. So what is, do you have a prediction? Let's say we're 2025, which is 3 years from now.
It's funny because when I talk about triple digit silver, that's the exact year I say. I say 2025,
really?
2026. Yeah, and I say that because I feel like by then we'll be deep enough into the Green New Deal. By then we'll be deep enough to where big industry will realize they don't have enough. Right now, you and I know this. The listeners know this. But I feel like by then, how many billions of ounces will we need by then?
So wait. So what you're saying is the industrial use alone will drive up the price. And what I'm saying is the corruption price alone will drive the fake gold, fake silver is going to drive the price up. So one is the real reason and one is a corrupt reason.
Yes, that's insane to think about. We could go on just off yours alone and it would be a strong reason to buy silver. But to also add that factor in, what I was talking about, it's almost overwhelming. If someone else let's say someone saw this interview for the first time that never heard about silver, and they heard this, if it didn't click for them, I don't know what will, or someone that's investing into stocks that hears about this, if they try to disregard it, that means it's either ego driven, they have a biased opinion, they don't want to admit that maybe something else is better, or they're just silly because nothing makes as much sense.
So, Mr. Slayer, I thank you for your contribution for the younger generation. Like I said, I was 17 years old in 1964, and I knew we were being screwed. Something told me. But that's been going on for centuries. The Romans used to clip the silver off of coins to pay the Roman soldiers. I mean, they were screwing, their own soldiers. But that's what the Fed and the treasuries are doing, that Wall Street's doing right now. So I appreciate your contribution. Keep up the good work. And then